I used to think pets were pretty easy to read, which was cute and extremely wrong, because the longer you watch them, the more you realize humans are terrible subtitle translators. A cat misses the litter box, and somebody immediately opens a full revenge investigation. A dog lowers its ears, and suddenly the owner is running a tiny guilt courtroom. Meanwhile, the animal is just standing there like, I never signed up for this legal system. So today, we are decoding 5 pet behaviors that look normal, cute, or annoying on the surface. But underneath, they can be the brain quietly waving a little emergency flag. Not every strange behavior is a crisis, and this is not a veterinary diagnosis. But repeated patterns are where the story stops being cute background noise. Pets cannot say, I am stressed, I hurt, I am scared, or my brain is overloaded. So the body sends signals instead, and humans confidently translate half of them wrong. That is the whole problem. The message is there, but we keep reading it with human subtitles. Number 1 is the cat that keeps grooming the same spot like its hygiene department got promoted. At first, this looks normal because cats already act like they own a luxury cleaning company. They lick, they polish, they judge your furniture, and somehow everyone accepts the attitude. But when one patch gets licked again and again, especially the belly, legs, or inner thighs, the meaning changes. Now, the grooming may not be cleaning anymore. It may be the cat trying to soothe itself. From what veterinary behavior research suggests, stress can push cats into repetitive actions that bring temporary relief. Grooming is a very convenient comfort button, because unfortunately, that button is attached to the cat. The brain feels tension, the cat licks, the body gets a small calming response, and the brain remembers. Great, says the brain, press that button again, because apparently customer support is open all night. The problem is, a comfort button can get stuck and slowly become the new problem. So the cat keeps licking until the fur thins, the skin gets irritated, and sometimes the spot turns raw. The owner sees a very clean cat, while the skin is quietly paying the bill. This does not mean every grooming session is a secret mental health emergency with whiskers. Cats groom because they are cats, and apparently that is already a full-time career. But if the same patch becomes a daily obsession, or baldness appears, that is no longer personality. That is a pattern, and patterns deserve attention before they become the whole plot. The sad part is that many indoor cats are not trying to be dramatic or difficult. They may be bored, lonely, overstimulated, understimulated, trapped in conflict, or missing normal hunting outlets. Basically, the cat has a predator brain living inside a studio apartment with bad entertainment. So the useful question is not, why is my cat being weird right now? The useful question is, what need is this behavior trying to replace inside the animal? That question is less satisfying than revenge, but annoyingly more useful. Number 2 is the dog that gets scolded, drops its head, rolls over, or even pees a little. And humans immediately say, see, it knows what it did, which sounds confident and may be wrong. That guilty face might not be guilt in the clean human courtroom version. A dog may be reacting to your voice, posture, face, timing, and emotional weather in the room. The body shrinks because smaller feels safer, and the eyes look away because staring can feel risky. The belly shows because surrender is sometimes the lowest cost survival setting available, which is very dramatic for an animal that may not understand the carpet trial. This is where learned helplessness becomes a useful warning, not a training technique. In classic psychology, repeated uncontrollable punishment can teach a creature that trying does not help. So eventually the body stops trying and chooses passive survival instead of problem solving. Not because the lesson landed, but because the room started feeling unsafe. That is the part owners miss when they celebrate fear as obedience. If a dog only behaves after fear enters the room, that is not respect. That is an animal doing emergency conflict management with its whole body. And yes, the dog may look sorry, because a scared face and a moral confession can look annoyingly similar. The better question is not, did my dog feel guilty after the scolding? The better question is, did my dog understand what behavior I wanted instead? Because if the answer is no, then the lecture was mostly theater, and the dog was just the unfortunate audience sitting through the worst courtroom drama. Number 3 is the purr that sounds happy, until the context starts acting suspicious. Cats purr when they are relaxed, hungry, bonding, asking, coping, and sometimes when they are unwell. Which is rude, honestly, because one sound should not have this many job titles. So if a cat is curled in a corner, barely moving, hiding more, and purring when approached, slow down. That purr may not mean, I'm having a beautiful little sofa day. It might mean, I'm trying to stay calm while something feels wrong. Veterinary behavior discussions often treat purring as context dependent because it can appear during comfort and distress. Some researchers have connected low frequency vibration with possible tissue and bone effects, though that does not make purring magic. Please do not turn your cat into a medical device because that is not the takeaway. The takeaway is simpler: a purr is not automatically a happiness receipt. It is more like an audio signal that needs the rest of the scene to make sense. Is the cat eating normally, breathing normally, moving normally, and using the litter box normally? Is it hiding, guarding one body part, avoiding touch, jumping less, or suddenly acting unusually still? That is where the translation changes from cute sound to possible warning sign. Humans hear a soft engine and think everything is fine because optimism is easy. But sometimes the engine is running because the system is trying not to panic. Quiet animals are dangerous to misunderstand because silence makes humans lazy. And cats are masters at turning serious discomfort into a very elegant little statue. Now, the next signal changes species because dogs often make emotions everyone can trip over. Number 4 is the dog that seems to absorb your stress like a furry emotional sponge. You come home after a terrible day, say nothing, and the dog already knows the weather is cursed. It may stop eating, follow you around, pace, whine, or lie there looking strangely heavy. And the human says, "Why are you acting weird?" while carrying the entire office atmosphere inside. Dogs are extremely tuned into human routines, voices, movement, smell, and tiny emotional changes. They do not need your TED talk about the bad meeting, they have already read the room. Studies on long-term stress have found links between owner and dog cortisol levels over time. That does not mean your dog copies every mood like a printer with fur, but it does mean the shared environment matters more than people want to admit. If your stress becomes the daily background music, your dog may start living inside that soundtrack. Very loyal, slightly invasive, and not exactly fair to the dog. The solution is not pretending humans should never feel bad at home. That would be ridiculous, and honestly, your inbox would still exist. The point is to create a small reset ritual before dumping the whole day into the living room. A calm walk, predictable feeding, a few minutes of play, or quieter body language can help. Dogs do not need a perfect owner. They need an owner who notices the household weather. And now for the final one, the cat that becomes a hallway demon at 3 in the morning. One second the house is silent, and the next second a tiny predator is sprinting like rent is due, or it waits behind a corner and attacks your ankles, which feels extremely personal for no reason. Owners call it random, but the cat might call it an unpaid hunting shift. Domestic cats may live indoors, but their behavior is still built around stalking, chasing, pouncing, grabbing, and biting. That sequence is not a cute bonus feature, it is part of the animal. So when a cat gets food in a bowl, sleeps all day, and has no prey-like play, the system can clog. The body has energy, the brain has instinct, and unfortunately the house has ankles. Congratulations, you are now wildlife enrichment, which is not the career path you requested. Again, this does not mean the cat is evil or plotting a leg-based assassination campaign. It is trying to run a hunting program with terrible equipment and no proper outlet. When that program has nowhere to go, it can become zoomies, ambushes, rough play, or sudden bites. The fix is simple, but it requires humans to stop treating play like decoration. Use wand toys, chase games, food puzzles, climbing spaces, scratching posts, and short hunting-style play sessions. Let the cat stalk, chase, catch, and then settle because that full sequence matters. Dangling a toy randomly is not the same as satisfying the little predator system. Basically, do not give a tiger brain a boring room and then act betrayed when it starts freelancing. So here's the bigger pattern behind all 5 signals: the behavior is not always the problem. Sometimes the behavior is the message, and the message is usually less petty than humans assume. Overgrooming may say, "I need relief," while the guilty face may say, "I feel unsafe." The purr may say, "Check the whole context," and the stressed dog may say, "Your weather is touching mine." The night zoomies may say, "This predator software needs an outlet before it turns your ankles into side quests." Pets cannot explain the mechanism, so they send it through bodies, routines, noises, and repeated little glitches. Our job is not to turn every weird moment into panic. Our job is to stop translating everything with human ego. Not revenge, not attitude, not drama, and not always. It knows exactly what it did. Sometimes it is stress, pain, fear, or boredom wearing a little criminal costume. The practical starting point is boring, which usually means it actually works. Give dogs predictable walks, calm correction, clear rewards, and less emotional thunder in the house. Give cats daily interactive play, climbing spots, hiding places, scratching options, and something that lets the hunter brain clock in. 15 focus minutes can change more than 3 hours of background guilt. And if a behavior is new, intense, painful looking, or getting worse, call a veterinarian instead of diagnosing it through vibes. Vibes are fun, but medical guessing is not. So next time your pet does something strange, pause before opening the courtroom. Ask what the body might be trying to solve before deciding the animal is being difficult. Because the weird habit you were annoyed by might be the only way your pet knew how to ask for help. And once you see that, the whole house starts speaking a different language.